Sirius, and Babylon. All right, blessings. Here we go. Greetings, this is Redmond with Sirius B. Greetings to you. Your Babylonian crystals that are connected to your Earth, basically a part of human life on your planet. Basically, an energy source that I believe has not been fully connected to in your modern times. Basically, crystal energies, of course, have human DNA, but also alien DNA embedded within it. Our Anunnaki is brought to this world to bring out the human to advance it on a higher level. Of course, there are giant Anunnakis too that found their way on your planet. As you go into more of a Babylonian understanding of yourselves, a science fiction version or a science fact reality. Basically, yes, letting your mind open up to the past. While the third dimension to release itself. It's like you're casting out back to the seeds. Casting out the third dimension, fourth dimensional vibrations come through. As yes, unlocking the mind. Letting your mind go wherever it needs to flow. So where do you need to go? Where does your mind... People wonder how they can figure themselves out. So clear your mind and tell yourself, who am I? And what is the first thing that comes to mind? And then to explore it. If it's an archangel energy, an alien energy, whatever it might be. There are also many spiritual counselors in your spirit world that are all about how the human development goes, everything. They incarnate on the planets to understand how it all works on other worlds and yours. Usually they're scientists, normally. Basically have a scientific understanding of how human emotion is. Some of them are also psychiatrists. Some are teachers. Even bad teachers to know what a bad teacher is like. So many of your spiritual ground crew are here too. So they're not always aware that they're going to go in that position. It's knowledge. Those of you who incarnate here and then leave, go back into spirit. Some of you, or all of you, are it's like you know so much about being a bad teacher. Can you tell us more of how that works? Or a good teacher, or a manipulative teacher, whatever it might be, or a scientist, or a mad scientist, a bad scientist. Share that with our collective so we can understand it. No judgment, just so we can understand it. So we can connect to humans, and your healing direction is you are here to bring truth here. So you wonder why your mission is here. Your mission is so hidden usually, but it is who you are. What are you doing today? It is not always going to be clear because you're here to unravel a lot of blockages on the planet. That Babylon and other places, mostly Egypt. See, Babylon was very open. Open on all many ways. A magic city of all kinds. As it branched out to other places, Jerusalem, Egypt, it began to fall apart. At least those are examples. And it just be able to split apart, and then it no longer existed. Egypt put a lot of blockages on Earth's growth. As you know, much of the knowledge got skewed, written wrong, lost. And now you're here to right those wrongs throughout history. And that's why many wars occurred. As you're here to, a lot of those were conspiracy theory wars. Didn't believe in the narrative, and you went to war. So conspiracy theories have been around forever. Doesn't mean they're wrong. Sometimes they are, but then again, who is ever right completely? We'll just leave you with that. Blessings. Orion inventors or inventions, something like that. Okay, lessons. Here we go. Greetings. This is Orion, the aspect of Orion. Greetings to your society, your soul progression. Orion is known to create characters, people, villains, heroes. Orion is known to create personalities. Yes, as you know, many alien energies are, well, depending on how you look at it, can be flat, at least in the beginning. So conflict brought out character. So Orion is known to mix things up and also to almost practically destroy itself in the making of the person or being, for that matter. And you're going into a awareness of yourselves, of where did I get my characteristics from. Doesn't mean it's from Orion, no. But seeing how you're in this place of the galaxy, Orion most likely affects all of you in some form or another, even if you did not have an incarnation in Orion. Now, some of you had connections in the Orion Wars where it changed you in one form or another. And it was very, you say, hurtful in the beginning. If you go from a life of positivity and then find your own darkness, as many beings are there to test your darkness by taking away your family and making it difficult for you to connect with them. Of course, for you to reunite with your family, but it's not easy. The growth of the soul. So growth of the soul, where it's manufactured or originated. One of the originators is Orion, also the sons of Orion too. The sun, the actual suns. The suns are created to create personality. I know that sounds strange, but just the vibration of it is to test the worlds, to push all vibration on the planet, to make it change things. As you incarnate on that planet, all that soul's there. Let's push his buttons a little bit, or her buttons a little bit. There are worlds, yes, that are all female and all male at one time. Now, there's always been male and female integrated, but there are male and female life worlds. And let me tell you, they're very good at fighting each other and also falling in love with each other. It's like whoever survives those wars found themselves a new love affair. And that's why some of you work better in relationships that are drama inflicted. Not everybody, but some of you are, because you're used to that. That's where you found the love of your life, through drama, through darkness. So of course that's what you're looking for. Some of you are looking for your old lovers that needs to bring everything to you, and now you're in a different environment. So some are usually reliving an old lifetime, not even knowing it. Well, it's just you go by what works. It's a cell memory. And sometimes you have to clear that. So that's why so many here are chasing the wrong person, looking for that adventure lifetime. Yes. And another thing, this is your animals on your planet, those that live out in the wild, are your adventurers. Your squirrels, your squirrels are very much adventurers in your neighborhoods that live in a suburban life. So you're living this life, you get up, go to work, but what are the squirrels are doing? They're running around having the best time ever. Jumping around, jumping on this, jumping on a tree, jumping on a phone line. They're doing every adventure lifetime right in front of you. The birds also, they're flying around having a blast, and humans have to go to work. And the cats sleep, but even they have adventures at night too, and the dogs too, depending on the animal. Some will go out and have, some canines, they want to stay with their human to protect it, but There are canids that go on their own adventures too. So where you're living this, I wouldn't call it a mundane life, but some feel that way. Look at nature a little bit differently. It's like, wow, they are enjoying the world more than we are, aren't we? Some of us are going to work and doing all those things. So this is part of your ascension too. Instead of some humans look down on animals and nature, as some of you know who that is. Now look at it a little bit more. I mean, yes, you might look at a house cat sleeps all day, but look further into that. Of all the animals around are having a blast. Yeah, some of them are searching for food, but they're also having an adventure every single day. Of course, you're having an adventure too. But as you connect more with nature, you go into that adventure lifetime. It doesn't mean you're going to be searching for food, but you're connecting back to the universe and its foundations of living a more action-filled life, for some of you at least. So, so think of Mother Earth. I guess the weather program in the Matrix is really getting out of hand this time. Mother Earth. Think of Mother Earth as this is one perspective. Think of Mother Earth as having, marrying somebody that she shouldn't have married. Wherever that is. I felt reptilian energies, but we'll just keep it general. And so she marries somebody she shouldn't have married, and then here we are. It's just something to think about. I believe these things do happen. Many go through those tests here on this world, and we are a reflection of our planet's energy. So something to I don't know, think about. So, all right, blessings. We'll go into details of that. I guess we can connect to Mother Earth if she really wants to say anything. Let's go somewhere else. Because let's say Mother Earth currently comes through, but we're going to go somewhere else with that. All right, blessings. Here we go. Greetings to you. I am Taurus in spirit. My name is not exactly easy to broadcast, to say, as I was not expecting this connection, but here we are. Mother Earth has many connections, as you do. So you are not all that different than your planet as it alone. You're not that much different than a tree, grass, air. You have all those functions in a different way. You humanize all of it. As many of you do, stand in one place for a long time, just like a tree. You absorb vibrations, you pull it in. You might sit at a table, you might drink some coffee, you might look at your internet, but you're observing your world, similar to what a tree does. Now, a tree doesn't stand around all day. It plants its vibration, and it goes throughout your world. It's like it keeps your world going. You can say it's part of the air, as you know, the physical keeps your air going. So the more beings that become tree energies, that connect to tree energies, it's like a wind of energy. And your consciousness continue life on this planet. A lot of new souls incarnate as a tree. Whereas there are older souls, a lot of new souls, and then they're connected to their planet as a tree being. It's like, especially on your world, it's like, what have I got myself into? And some of them incarnate as con men. Some of them, they learn how society operates. Some become very beautiful and marry somebody wealthy, or become an Anunnaki being and do all kinds of things. There's a level that not all alien beings fully understand. Mother Earth is no different than you. So you can see Mother Earth in your own selves. Even if you're male or female, you can still see it. As yes, she makes mistakes just like you. She's not looking down on humanity, far from it. Instead, she's saying, can't we get our act together? No. Well, hopefully, yes. So, but she has her own problems also. Now, some might not believe in all these things. That is quite right. Others see differently. Some see their in-laws as the most beautiful people in the world, and some see them as the devil. So everybody has a different point of view, but it's up to you to expect what works for you. As you're on a growth spur at this time, a growth spur of understanding how your world works, how it operates, how the ins and outs of it, how the Mother Earth operates. You don't necessarily have to visualize Mother Earth, but realize she has mistakes. But you don't. The idea is not to blame Mother Earth, no. But she goes through difficulties similar to you. Yes, it's on a different plane altogether. She's a planet, but you are planets also. It's just you don't see it. You are a world within yourselves, as your minds show a universe, a fantasy world, a reality. So that makes you a world also. Of course, you're all different universes too, but we're here to concentrate on the world aspect, as that can get kind of complicated. It's not, well, we'll just keep it simple. You're the building blocks of Mother Earth and who she is. You make mistakes, she sees the mistakes, she goes ahead and makes mistakes herself. She grows with you. As you're taking her to places, it's like trying ice cream and all of a sudden you're sick all day. Or you feel better than you've ever had before. So you come here to teach her a lot of things. And of course, she's going to try everything, as all of you have. You go through abuse, Mother Earth goes through abuse. Of course, she's going through Mother abuse through energies here, of course. But you're all unison, all connected. You're all within each other. There's also why you have coins, money, is for you to connect to each other also. It's not necessarily for monetary reasons. It actually money is actually jewelry. At least in the one time it was. For males or females, doesn't mean everybody has to walk around jewelry, but it is a message also from spirit too. It's another way for the spirit to connect to you especially when you disconnect. As many of you know, like you find a penny on the ground, up or down, or whatever it might be. It's a message from spirit. So it's another way for spirit to connect to you. So it doesn't mean that was always the idea, but as you disconnected from the spirit realms, money was brought to you so you can talk to spirit. Yes, you realize there's a lot of manipulation within the money also, but that's up to your world's decision. Wasn't ours. But as there's major soul growth, as you're giving your power away to money, that is major soul growth there. Many become obsessed with it. Many become spoiled with it. Obviously for survival reasons, but others just, yes, because they're so used to surviving, it's difficult to rely on their own energy and create, but not everyone's here to create all the time. Some of you are here to. Suffering is part of opening up the soul. The soul part of the soul has not been opened up for some time. So yes, you can live the life of glamour, live everything you want, paradise incarnations. But every once in a while, you have to find a world that's similar to yours to balance yourself. Doesn't mean it has to be at this level, but that's why many alien beings are helping you right now. They're balancing themselves. They know and have it good. They're giving back their good vibrations to yours. In return, they're learning a great deal about themselves and others, and they are actually getting stronger on spiritual, especially those aliens that are truly ground crew beings here. Some of them are incarnations, and some of them are just human. Then they incarnate, then they reconnect to their ship. So this world is a major turning point for the universe, I believe. So if you've heard that, even Mother Earth has a contract with different beings for relationships. As you create a contract, she joins the contract with you. Not an easy one. Now, many of your continents that you see in your maps, look at your ancient maps. There's a lot of changes back then. There's also a lot of maps were destroyed. There's also alternative maps, meaning that your Earth has moved around, your continents has moved around a lot. It's of course not recorded for obvious reasons for your Earth, for your collective. She wanted you to know that little snippets of knowledge of your past as you go into a time of reconnecting to Mercury, as Mercury was similar to your world in the past, not exactly at this level. Venus also, but Mercury is very much actually your sister planet, more than your. Some might see it differently, but Mercury was a problem planet too. That was the universe much needed all of that. Did not leave your solar system, moved the center energy towards you, as you chose the same thing on a different level. Mars is quite different. Mercury is really your sister planet of all planets. Of course, that's one point of view. Others see it differently, third dimension. Scientists are off somewhere else, which is very third dimensional of them, which is quite fine. But Mercury is very connected to your world. Is this cloning in November? All right, blessings. Here we go. Greetings. We have the Palladians. Humanity is, yes, of course, part of many cloning programs. Cloning is a part of life. It is not put in your system, in your reality, because it is used to control your reality. So as you become more clear of it, you explore more of it, of course, it's difficult to see it through blockages. But as you go into your awakening, you'll see more of a clearance of it, of who you truly are on multiple levels, on your different versions of yourself. Because realize these beings that are causing difficulties, they can connect to your fractal self and create a clone of you using projection and technologies. Basically, they can project your energy into a clone that they create. It might not be exactly like you, but it's close enough. So they don't have to know much. Just like they can steal a fingerprint or log into your computer, they can figure out your code, your DNA. Now, it won't necessarily be your same DNA, no. But as long as it looks like you and sounds like you, and the mannerisms are somewhat similar, they can get away with it. So they need your energy signature to do that. It doesn't necessarily have to be DNA. It's energy signature, basically your thoughts, energy from your thoughts. That's why email and all these things are very important. Videos online, whatever it might be, messages. They can use that to build a profile on you to create a clone. So, of course, DNA is done, different levels. It's not that hard to get DNA on your planet, especially most of your humans don't even believe in any of this. Not that it's very difficult to protect yourself as it is. But as you become more aware of it, you'd be surprised how much this is going on. If your soul grows, to just be aware, not to look at it from a negative point of view, as it is a beautiful thing to know that cloning does exist, as it's another part of your evolution. That, of course, is seen as conspiracy, but of course you have a lot of conspiracies here, don't you? As much as the aliens are here, part of your society, cloning, the knowledge of it will become taboo. People will be a little bit scared. Yes, you might be talking to an alien, but now you're going into cloning. That's even more terrifying in some regard, depending on the person and being. So many of you want to know all of it. Yes, you can go into, yes, there's a darker side of using cloning, and there's a positive side of using cloning. As cloning can be used as a positive side to rejuvenation, to keep you going, keep you alive forever. But of course, and that's part of the Anunnaki energies, of course, and others. But there's also another side. So, and you can say on other planets, yes, there's a version of me in a freezer somewhere, just in case I need, for my longevity when I live for 1,000 years. And depending on the planet, whatever it might be, especially on a war planet, you can use cloning technology to keep you going, especially if you're shot or whatever it might be. You'll rejuvenate and continue on. So, and some want to, when Some alien species can grow back their arms quite easily or using technologies, but some want to be accurate. That's another reason to have a clone because it's a clone of you. Some spend all their times working on their clone in case something happens to them. It's kind of like watching your bank account. It's just done differently. Priorities are always different in other realities, as you can see. As we are thinking about some beings, thinking about their clones and how long you can live and what you can learn through what are you going to spend that time in your living? Are you going to read every book the world has ever created? Are you going to travel the universe? And of course, having a clone is good for that, just in case something happens to you, which it does happen at times. It's always good to have a backup, depending on what vibration you're at. Some vibrational, fourth dimension is still a fascinating place. Some write it off as it's still a very difficult reality. In some ways it is, but it's also very fascinating as much of your learning still exists. So as you go more into the fourth dimension, as you are right now, your connection to alien beings, you'll find cloning as part of their civilizations, depending on the being, of course. Not all beings are involved with this. Other thing about Zeta is that they're known to retrieve DNA. So if you're a part of a Palladian race, for example, and you have a disease and your body's not in good shape, they can actually find a clone of yours somewhere in the universe, possible, or your solar system, wherever it might be. Normally your galaxy, but even in your solar system, it depends on where you've been. Doesn't mean you have to have an exact clone of yourself, but where was your DNA last when you saw it? So, if you're living with someone, because hair particles, things like that, still exist in the fourth dimension, and that can be a big deal on your rehabilitation. As there are diseases in fourth dimension, fifth dimension, sixth dimension, no matter who's talking, it still exists. As there's many things that still exist in all realms. This is not the lower realm. This is a difficult realm. If it was the lower realm, many of you would find you have no liberties or freedoms. Of course, you're feeling that now because the lower realms are taking more over the planet. Doesn't mean you're going to be taken over, but they're influencing you greatly. Yes. Okay, greetings. This is Orion Worlds. Some blessings. Here we go. Greetings, we have the Orions. Human Collective has, yes, a lot to learn, as you can see. The world's similar to yours. Of course, you're not living in those realities of different planets, at least not yet, but you are doing it in astral. As there are worlds normally in a solar system, there is always one type of seed planet. You are on a seed world where many beings can come in and download their information, grow, and create different beings of that sort. Of course, a Palladian world, for example, or Orion world. A Palladian world is usually a Palladians creating it. In Orion worlds, Orion has a lot of seed worlds where not just Orion is connected to it, but all kinds of others. Of course, in a Palladian world, you do have Palladian and Sirian. Arcturian, but it's still a lot different than your planet. Basically, your world is all doors are open, anybody can come in. For the most part. For your current understanding of who you are, Orion worlds, there's many seed planets that are called Earth, but they're in Orion. It's another reason why some of you are having difficulties here. If you remember, the word Earth means a better environment, a world that isn't so shut down. Now, there are versions of Earth that are technology based. Not all are. A lot of them are primitive. also, but still have an alien presence, of course, assisting. Um, of course, your world has a lot of different diversities of its past, of its technology past that's been hidden. As there, yes, we're going to jump around a little bit, but your planet does have technologies of its past, alien technologies. That's suppressed through history. Why you build your cathedrals the way they are, temples, and on. Usually it was on a religious timeline, but there was a part of Earth that was very primitive, but once again, you still had technology there, but that's not exactly going to be shown just yet. So, yes, your current history is a lie, but no surprise to many of you. But on Orion planets, we do have worlds that are Western planets. Even we have Syrian worlds in Orion, are very Syrian water ocean realities, as we allowed a lot of different beings to connect. And Mantis realities are many Mantis planets there also. And you can say that's another reason why we have the Orion Wars, because it's so diverse. We allow a version of Earth, or planets that call themselves Earth, to exist. And your planet, the version of what your world is called Earth, is a long story. But it is where you're at vibrationally. As those other versions of Earth are at a more higher vibration, but still very much a third dimensional world, but less negativity. The reason we are bringing this up, you're going through a timeline change currently, where 5D energies are going to become more part of your environment, as is healing your political realms at this time. And yes, the shadows are going to keep themselves hidden as much as they can, but many of you, as you heighten your vibrations, you will see the darkness in operation. Many of you become conspiracy theory, but not necessarily of the dark side, of the fearful kind of basically downloads into your reality. And people will find, of course, of what they believe is another story. But many of you are going to bring up these different architects of reality of how they're doing things. And people are going through their own awakenings. And there's an awakening and awakening and awakening to go into more of a 5D environment. So what you're heading towards is, in a way, it's an oasis. Nothing's cut and dry of when things are going to change on your planet. We are going through a transition, of course. And some of you remember your other lives on other star systems. Some of you have lives on a sun, or in the sun environment, that you were on a blue star. So some of you see visions of a blue star, not realizing that you actually lived on a blue star. And those are normally, depending on the environment, are high vibrational worlds. Meaning some Arcturian beings live there, Orion beings. A lot of the positive Orion beings, a lot of them are in the sun, unseen. Of course, they're not, dimensions are not always seen because of the vibration. So usually it's a 12th dimension reality within the sun. Of course, you can go much higher than that, but much of the beings that are assisting your reality is from 12th dimension. So you're also shifting with your sun's vibration, as your sun and Mother Earth are very connected. Obviously. You can say the sun is the god planet. Earth is the mother world. But challenges the god planet a great deal. So you're going to unison, basically, you're going into a time of becoming more aware of your sun, how it operates, because your sun's keeping a lot of secrets on your planet. Dimensional reasons. So your astral is connected to your sun. So as you see your astral realms, you see this. The sun is also a marker. It's like if you go into astral, visualizing a sun, or you leave from the sun. If you're looking for a way back, look for the sun, or ask for the sun to appear. Normally it's the correct sun. Obviously make sure it's the right sun you're going back to. But it's like going back to your home planet. Your home planet is the sun. You go back to your sun, you end up back on Earth. Let's put it that way. So those of you in their astral travels can get kind of diverted, scared, and all that. But you pull in the energies from the sun, you'd be surprised how much it assists in your voyage. Because some see your energies, your Earth's energies, because you're coming from the sun's vibration. Either they don't mess with you in astral, or they do, but they know what they're getting themselves into. Because you are bringing that vibration to other places to actually heal your Earth. Why you're going astral is to heal the planet and yourself. Heal yourself and the planet and the collective. Doesn't mean you have to make sure, oh, I need to go to astral, I need to do meditation. You don't necessarily have to do that, but as you go into the astral realms, you'd be surprised what you start to remember, because maybe you're bringing knowledge back with you. It's all about seeking out knowledge and bringing it back into the physical realm, which is very magical when you think about it. Came to mind Secret Service and Secret Society. So we'll see how that goes. All right, blessings. Here we go. Greetings to you. This is the Palladians. Blessings. 1 moment. Your secret societies are embedded in your cities, as you can see. Your main cities. Of course, when you go out in the country, you don't see a secret society. Of course, that's why they do the rituals. Of course, those that are a secret society are not going to be public people. Now, at least on a level of black magic. Now, yes, that would be public, but not doing interviews on television and getting attention. Unlikely. Now, somehow, but no. It's not something that's done frequent. Those that are in the public that are secret society, because there's different levels of it. Yeah, those your presidents, for example. Yeah, that's what they're trained for. That's what they're breeded for. That's what they're created for. Those that are completely hidden. Yes, you have jewelry, usually a ring, but it's not always clear. It doesn't mean it's Masonic, but it is usually a ring of some kind, or some kind of jewelry. Now, many do not wear it, but a lot of them do because it gives them power. It gives them confidence, basically, so they can have control over society. Some of your CIA has some of that written in them. Some of its contracts. So, Illuminati people like to control people. They feel like that is their mission. They're given this power. They're taught to think a certain way. So it goes through a family lineage of controlling society. So they feel it's their every right to mind control. But for them, they're doing what's best. They don't see themselves as negative either. They're exploring themselves on different levels. That's why they torture themselves. That's why they tie up their kids. They do all these things. Because they feel like they're taking to a higher power. They want to know things that you don't know. They want to explore the soul as much as possible. Yes, it might not exactly be the most positive, but once again, they feel like they're endowed. They feel like they want to keep this power, but they want to know the human inside out. So what they do to you, they do to themselves. They even mind control each other too. To see, now their mind control is a lot more vicious. It's vicious to you, but it's more on their end because usually ends up with loss of life or health deficiency. They do fight each other. Now, it's not all the time. Sometimes they do it financially. It's all different. They all have different ways of going about it. But some do decapitate each other. And many are in our Antarctica. Not all. but a good amount. Or yes, they can go anywhere and be unseen. They don't have a social security number, have no numbers. They have a name, but they have a name that works for you. They have they have the credit card companies, they are the credit card companies. So unlimited balance, for example. Usually they try not to make themselves too much known because of the social media situation, but they do live among you. Many of them are connected to religions also. Some of them are donors, and some of them, they truly play the average person. They want to look too rich. Now, some places do look that way. Your Arab places and things of that sort. That's part of their culture. But a lot of your European elite, they want to stay as normal as possible. Yes, they live in castles, they live in luxury apartments, but they normally keep a low profile, but they don't think much of your human race, as some of you already know. There are positive ones that have come out of the dark into the positive to assist. Now, the reason why your Secret Service is brought up is that can be easily infiltrated, unfortunately, as that's also part of the elitist energy, unfortunately. Because they can get very close to your president and do things they probably should not be doing. As some of you have seen in the past, during some of how they're acting. As there was presidential in the past, Secret Service are acting like children because that's pretty much how the elite act anyway. Immature children, they can do whatever they want. They can control who they're protecting. So it can be a very, very frightening bunch also. So it is basically another truth that will be brought into your world. Your media, yes, covers everything up, of course, because your corporations have a lot to hide, as you can see. The problem is they can't hide it forever as they think they can. As they put all the symbols they can, all the energies out there, the words they use for holidays, even their holiday advertisements have coding in them. Code words that are used against your society, your population. As most don't think anything of it. I think the holidays is a special treat, but in truth it is a ceremony. It's a ritual on humanity's energy. Especially Black Friday, when humans are destroying each other to get to a cheap item, the elites love that. They love to see despair, desperation for what they set up. So it's for you to look at things a little bit differently, step back. But many aren't doing that, of course, because yes, they're adolescent energies. Many are still young. This world is still much to discover for many. So it's just a whole ocean of reality they're just getting started with. And many of you are saying it's time to go back to spirit when they just got here. And they might be 30 years old, but you're introducing back to the spirit where many of them want the physical experience. They feel like you're going against what they want. So because you are here to bring it to a wider vibration, obviously it's not going to be done instantly. But some are going to eventually stop fighting and join the party, especially when the physical is no longer working for them. You can get kicked out of the physical reality too, the reality of thinking and third dimension. Like nothing's working for you. Well, let me look into my spirituality. Let me look at that. Okay, you went and found religion. That's not exactly working. And you look into aliens and angels and other things, and then you see there's something there that you can grow upon. So that's where you're heading. Now, yes, it's always going to be a difficulty with fear on your planet, as this is not a one. Like there's no room to. There's the land of no return. Is not exactly true, because you still have a lot to go through to get to, of no return. As you still have a lot to figure out about yourselves. So yes, eventually there will be a level of third dimension no longer exists, but you have some time for that. There's so much, yes, the energies have become lighter for those that wish for it to become lighter. More knowledge, basically, especially when you're assisting others. Of course, you definitely assist yourself in your own growth, but those of you that want to assist others, you'll find some medium. You'll find some direction, whatever works for you. It might be just friends. That doesn't mean it has to be public on this level. It can be just anyone you know. But don't preach. Yeah, we don't recommend preaching. Preaching just causes more friction. But now, if this person is open to what you have to say, it's a different story. But once again, preaching doesn't always work because you don't always have all the answers. Others have different points of view. It's good to have an open mind. It's up to you, though. Many already made up their mind in the spiritual understanding. As there's so many more realms to understand. It's good to keep an open mind through all of this. So yes, you might see one version of a reality, but there's so many more. And yes, it's not easy to accept other people's realities, but you're going to start getting used to that because you're going to be adding to your own reality, basically. That's what this is all about. Universe within universe within universe within universe. All of your universes all interconnecting. We've all experienced so much difference. And some of you, that's why you have relationships, even like intimate relationships, so you can combine those realities together. More and even more. Yes, there's a love energy there, of course, too. But it's all about experience, too. You want to experience the same things together. And yes, that is very enlightening, but it isn't always necessary. Some of you, sometimes some of you work better alone. As some of you notice that. So, this is